Today marks exactly 7 years since the Lilly Mine tragedy. In 2016, Yvonne Mnisi, Nkambule and Solomon Nyirenda were working inside a lamp room. A crown pillar collapsed and caved into the old underground mine. Their bodies have been trapped ever since. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is visiting the families as they hold a memorial service. Aviwe, it's such a sad time, and it also, more than anything else, is further exacerbated by the fact that the families can't get closure because the bodies are still underground. And it looks as though there's no kind of inactive or active movement to try to get these bodies to the surface so that the families can once again bury their loved ones. And yet 7 years later, we're still having the same conversation.
Same conversation 7 years later, and no one taking responsibility really, even on who is to actually take out the bodies of the three that were trapped here exactly 7 years ago. In fact, I have some of the family members, the parents of Yvonne, Pretty and Solomon, the three that were actually trapped underground here. They've been camping outside this mine since 2019 to try and get people to notice their plight and, of course, trying to recover the bodies of their loved ones. I'll start with the mother of Pretty. Mama? Yvonne, I beg your pardon. Thank you for joining us. Kunjani ma nizizwa njani ngumndeni since kwenzeka esef?
Asisi right. Silimele. Kusukela 2016. Asisi right. Lokubhlungu siyatibuta ukuthi bantwana bethu liqala labo yini ukuba bangakhishwa lapha. Makshezi bantwa bethu ubaqashile ayisima legal. But bahlangabezana nenkinga akafuna ukubakhipha wayena ngabe vela abantu abakhishwa emgodini abangenile labakhiphila ngabo bavalile bonke kodwa ukhise bantwa bethu into lesicakako thina ngiphinza ngiyasho futhi noma umuntu lobulale umuntu angene ejele uyayithola iparula why bethu bangayithola iparula government uthini ngebantu bethu bashiye abantwana labancane bantwana bayafail esikolweni abakhona ukufunza sizathu bafune batale sina sibatali basibuta ukuthi baphi bomakwethu asakhona ukuphendula siwaqambile manga sesiyahluleka sicela abantu bethu bakhishwe imali eyikhona ukukhipha abantu bethu makushezi kani inkinga yethu yakhe yini ngebantu bethu lapha emayeni.
A desperate plea from Yvonne Mnisi's mother, one of the three that were trapped inside, saying that the money surely is there. All they want is for their children to be taken out since they were trapped here in that container 7 years ago, back in 2016. I'm going to bring in Solomon Nyirenda's mother. Mama, kunjani siyazwa ma ukuthi benihlala lana since 2019 ma. Yini nifunayo kwenzeke manje?
Oh, sithinga sanibonana.
Sanibona mama kunjani?
Siyaphila. Sithinga ukuthi thina sikhokhelwe abantu abethu sitothola ini iclosure. Ngoba thina kuze kube so kungesimanga samakshezini lo waqasha abantu abethu. Manje sigcino siyamangala ukuthi mase siva ukuthi manje yena athi lokho yena akasakwati uthi kokuqala wathi manje na kwendiwa intando yaJehova lokuthi kuze lo mgodi udilike nalabantu bethu wabuya futhi wathi yena isimanga somntwanami amcambela nemanga ukuthi konke uthi yena kuze ize iwele mayini ngilokuthi umntwana nami yena nguye lebeka hamba nala namaligala ukuthethephi lo lamantombazana la ithube kakuhle.
That's the pain mother of Solomon Nyirenda, saying that it's just the audacity of the mining owners actually partly blaming even his son, Solomon Nyirenda, saying that he partook in some illegal activities, given that some of the blame is attributed to Zamazamas that were mining here that led to the chipping away of that pillar that eventually led to the collapsing of the Lilly Mine here in Barberton. I'm going to catch up lastly with the mother of Pretty Nkambule. Mama, kunjani ma?
Ngikhona baba. Ngikhona nje ngoba ngihamba kodwa nje empilweni yami angikho. Ngoba lo mntana nami lo wahamba lapha. Washiyana luswane nalo. Luna 5 months. Kepha Nkosi yami ngiyamangala ukuthi nalobulele uyakhishwa ejele. Labethu ngoba uyabonakala umuntu lokufanele ukuthi asincede abakhiphe. Kodwa akafuni kunikwe emalungelo ukuthi atoza khona kubakhipha labantwana. Futhi ngiyadibuta ukuthi abantu bethu kukhona inilabe baqabene nako ngalomlumbi. Noma ke kukhona lebakonile ngoba noma wonile uyathethelelwa. Laba sesihleli iminyaka neminyaka asisati futhi kuthi emhlabeni sibantu noma siyini asadadi. Siyahamba nje ngoba umuntu makabona uhamba ukhuluma athi ungumuntu lengekhatha kade uthi wonakele ngakanani. Sicela uhulumende asikhiphele abantu bethu. Abamunike lo nemali asikhiphele bantwana. Sitoze sikhona ekushaya umoya ngoba nyala sikhona ekushaya umoya ngalabantwana lebalapha emgodini. Uthi mawulele usho ukuthi umfana nami mbe ukuphi umbe udlani solo wahamba agqokile athi emsebentini ngona kube beboya ontshontsha bebangayi kontshontsha labantwana bebasebenda ngalamanye amagama kusho ukuthi bebabahle ngemandla abo namuhla ngoba sebavelelwe ingodi abasafuna ukukhishwa sebabi siyacela uhulumende akasikhiphele labantwana akube lekugcina namuhla lelanga kuNkulunkulu akasiphendulele uNkulunkulu baphume abantu abathu batokhona kubona abantu ababo lo mntwana nje ungaka kamati unina wathi mine kuthi ngigogo maka kamati sibuhlungu kakhulu empilweni yethu.
That is the mother of Pretty Nkambule alongside the daughter of Pretty Nkambule. She was just 5 months when her mother was trapped 7 years ago in this mine. She hasn't seen her mother since then, and that desperate plea coming then from the mother of Pretty Nkambule, pleading with government to please just take out their children from this mine, saying that even criminals that have committed such crimes as murder get outside prisons. In fact, I see the leader of Action SA here, Herman Mashaba. I'm just going to bring him in quickly, hoping that I still have time. Mr. Mashab, thank you for joining us at eNCA. You're part of government structures now, seeing that you have Action SA as a party in some of these municipalities. It's tragic that these families haven't received closure 7 years later. Do you have any inkling of an idea maybe when that closure can be received?
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for making the time. This is a very most dreadful moment for me. As I said yesterday, that when I left home, it was really very difficult to leave home, knowing that I'm leaving my family behind, and I'm going to meet these 3 families. And I said to myself, what am I going to say to them? Because we have a government of the Republic of South Africa and the Department of Minerals and Energy. We have the business rescue practitioners, the owners of the mine, the unions, our law enforcement agencies, all of them doing everything possible for the families not to really get closure to this matter. But we are confident as Action SA with the legal support that we've got that they will have nowhere to hide. Unfortunately, it's taking time, but eventually this container will be retrieved because we have already disclosed the fact that the families were lied to when they said this container cannot be retrieved. This container was not an accident. It was an accident bound to happen because it happened because of reckless mining where health and safety measures were not taken care of. They had received 2 years earlier, received warnings about the reckless mining that was taking place. But what is actually quite really strange is the fact of government, the Republic of South Africa government, actually working with the owners of the mines to ensure that this container is not retrieved. That's something that one of these days it'll come out as to what role government really played in this.
And speaking of government, we know the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee in Mineral Resources in Parliament will be here handing over a report saying that they're saying that they visited the mine, they've been doing investigations. This matter was in Parliament last year where the NPA distanced itself, saying that it's a prerogative of the SAPS or the management to actually take out that container there. You mentioned that government doesn't have the teeth to go after and take out this body, and it seems like they're shifting blame from one another.
It's actually an insult for our government, including Parliament, to abdicate their responsibility. As you are aware, since 1994, the South African government took over the rights of mines. The mineral rights in this country belong to government. In the event of any mining company not complying with the laws of this country, they have the right to withdraw the license. Why in this particular case, where they know very well, they have the proof that it was the mining that was taking place here was taking place in a reckless kind of fashion, and why they were not withdrawing this? The South African government, including Parliament, they are aware that there's a company that wants to buy this mine, and part of the condition is the retrieval of these bodies. Now, they are already, this company, the BRP, it's in contempt of 2 court orders, because every time when they must go to the shareholders so that the shareholders can vote as to who must buy this mine, and in the process retrieve the bodies, they come out with excuses after excuses, because it looks like they are more inclined on the previous owners or the current owners to continue mining without taking the responsibility for the retrieval of the container.
All right, thank you very much. The Action SA leader, the Herman Mashaba, coming, of course, to Lilly Mine 7 years after Nkambule and Solomon Nyirenda, as well as Yvonne Mnisi, were trapped in the mine here in a container. They still haven't been retrieved. Now, these family members are going to go inside for a prayer session that was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock, the official ceremony, not far from where we are, where the families themselves have set up camp since 2019, living here, wanting for some sort of closure. So they're going inside the mine now, as, of course, they prepare for that prayer session.
Yeah, Aviwe, as you're really just taking some commentary from the family members, it just further resonates how much sometimes we allow certain injustices to be perpetuated, and hopefully these families can get some kind of closure 7 years on into that tragic, tragic loss of lives. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila giving us the latest there from Barberton.